Rasperience is on your radio. Welcome forward again to another Rasperience in the daytime this time. You used to hear us in the night from 8 until 9. This time you're hearing us on the Bridge 99 FM from 11 till 12. So I heal up all the mansions, the house of Rastafari. We heal up the Naya Bingi, we heal up the Bobo Shanti, 12 Tribes, School of Vision, Dermot Fagan, Heal the Eye, Ethiopian World Federation, African Unity, Covenant of Rastafari, Messianic Dreads, the Celastian Church and Ethiopian Orthodox Church. We hail the kings of kings, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Menen, the balance. Zine? So we got to the vow. We got to the vow, you know. And the vow is that let the hungry be fed and the naked be clothed and the sick be nourished and the aged protected and the infant cared for. I vow to be the defender of freedom, equal rights and justice, because Haile Selassie say, with faith, courage and a just cause, David will still slew Goliath. Yeah, it feels good to be on daytime radio. Richie B just invited me in. Is that a familiar voice with an unfamiliar sound? We're not just here as storytellers, but we are here as concept carriers who, you know, we disseminate information all over the place and hope say we bring some solution to all the problems that we have. So it's daytime radio. Hearing and we blaze fire same way, whether day or night, with fire burn it. Today we burn the Willie Lynch syndrome. Yeah, that Willie Lynch syndrome, we burn it. And we also will be reasoning with the fire mama, Queen Ifrica. She in the house. Zane. So the Willie Lynch syndrome is a thing where we'll witness every day, you know? We'll see that happening among us. It has been decades hearing about the Willie Lynch syndrome and its letter outlining the way to control the best slaves, or the rough slaves. He was allegedly a plantation owner on the island of Jamaica and found a way to control the rebellious, outcasted slaves on his plantation. And so them sent for him for go deal with some bad slave in the Americas. Zane, maybe nobody no name Willie Lynch, you know. Maybe it's a fictitious name, but the idea of Willie Lynch syndrome, it's still around. It's about enough. It's about in the inner city where you see the youths them kill each other. All them concentrate on is each other. And now see the big pie. You know? Them now say them being controlled by politicians. They are being controlled by Mr. Big. And so them fight for turf and fight for some little squabbles. Meanwhile, the big pie out there. Yeah. In recent research, revealed that Willie Lynch may or may not be a real person. However, the tactics outlined in this supposedly fictitious letter is a real syndrome play out in front of our eyes. All the time we see that. Divide and rule work because the slave focus on each other instead of the oppressor. This is the tactics being used today. Instead of us focusing on government and properly distributing wealth and opportunity, the focus is on JLP and PNP. We take the tribal approach. Yeah? We war while them laugh after us. It's good for know your history or your story. Because them say now is Black History Month and is 1 month set aside for Black History. But schools should have Black History 180 days out of the school year and 365 for us. The blood run cold every time. Right now I want to bring in my guest, the Queen Ifrica. What go on, man? What there? Talk about the Willie Lynch syndrome.
True.
How you feel about it? How you feel about the Willie Lynch thing?
Well, the fact that it's so still active, whether the person, Willie Lynch, was fictional or not, is the frightening part of it. You know, the fact that we live in all that was said in this letter, especially here in Jamaica, we see where we're living it in its realest of state, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it worth looking, even for this Black History Month here, I think it worth looking into, you know?
Yes.
The methods that was used by these men.
Well, them say when the slave trade did go on and them carry through the Middle Passage from Africa, is like them let off the docile slaves them down at Barbados and semi-bad slave at Trinidad and so forth.
Yeah.
And bring the worst one them come up here. So.
Yes.
So the worst one them come at Jamaica. Most likely all the kings and queens and who decide that them never deal with slavery. Hence the Maroons, which is a runaway slave.
Right.
But the guy where the fictitious guy Willie Lynch, him had a reputation of taking care of, you know, them bad slave there. And then them carry him go America and him say, in order for you to control these slaves,
yes,
you have to separate them. You have to deal with the black ones different from the brown ones, the tall ones different from the short ones. They give some position,
yes,
and take the position from some.
Yes.
That is happening today still.
It is so happening, as I said earlier, about the frightening state of the fact that it is so happening where in all of our institutions, in all across the spheres of our society, we see this division being used, and we see now where crime, as we're talking about, you know, cause and effect.
Yes.
Crime in Jamaica now is one of the greatest products of this approach.
Yes.
That was taken, because a lot of these rivalries are, they're saying it's reprisals, it's stuff that's happening in families, in close knitted communities, and as they come, our Mr. Chang, as Mr. Chang loves to call the youths gangsters and animals and stuff, you know, these gangsters and animals come out of households, broken households.
Yes.
A lot of these are poor households, and poverty is not an excuse, for violent behaviors, and some of which we see happening. But if we're going to call a spade, then I think we need to look at the methods that was used in the Willie Lynch approach,
Yes.
and what we see being used now.
And gone are the days when we have limited access to information. It's like
Yes.
we have more information technology
At the fingertip.
Yeah, we have finance, we have technology,
Yes.
we have all the tools to break the cycle.
Yes.
We must act and stop being ashamed of reclaiming our homeland. Meanwhile, America and Europe and China, then Africa, we have to look forward to Africa, and we have to look forward with unity, because unity is the only accepted goal, and success is the fruit of cooperation.
Yes.
I think so. We have all the tools for conquer Willie Lynch syndrome, but we separate, like,
Memory loss.
well, not even memory loss so much, like we're rich
Yes.
individually, we have knowledge individually,
Yes.
we can organize individually, but we need to bring it into
But it's
a
in our,
united force.
so that's why I said that it's like a memory loss, because it's in our DNA to be
Yes.
entrepreneurs and to be kings and queens and to be free people.
Yes.
But if you look into history, going back into Africa, they tell you that there was a tree
Yes.
that they call the tree of forgetfulness.
Yes.
That when the slaves were about to board the slave ships,
Yes.
they were given this plant to consume, and it would erase
The memories.
all their memories. So if these slave masters were willing to go as far as to try to alter anything about what you want to remember about yourself,
Yes.
and the fact that it took 3 months to travel across the waters to
Yes.
come over here, so just imagine that torture, that would have happened to our ancestors
And
as
before.
they would have come on that journey.
And before too, because I have been to the gates of no return in Ghana, and the place where them assemble everybody before them put you upon the ship. It's
Yes.
terrible. Men and women and children, all in the same place. So woman menstruate,
Yes.
man vomit,
Wow.
man defecate, them pee. All of them
Everything
things.
was happening there.
When you go in there right now, same way now, if in a 2022, you can almost smell that stench coming out of there. So the way them depress and oppress you before you come forward to,
Yes.
apart from drinking the bush,
Yes.
that help to erase
Yes,
that
yes,
memory.
definitely. So it's a great injustice that has only been increased upon and is still being meted out upon generations, to where we see today. Even in this 2022 Black History Month, we have more than 100 Black Jamaicans dead,
Yes.
and that's something to look into
And
again.
and it's just since January.
Since January, we're just in February, 9 days
Yes.
into February, and we are more than 100 people dead. And it makes say the time for talking is over, and it's really now a reset, definite. Just as we're seeing they're resetting the world,
We
it's a
have to reset
reset
too.
as Black people, how we see ourselves and how we see our families,
Well, remember, unity is strength, and strength is power. We have begun the reprogramming with the show, Rasperience.
Yes. Congratulations, by the way.
So we have started the reprogramming, and we hope that people catch on to it, and yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Yeah, man, we have to stop. Not for the things that we do, like buy some designer clothes, and the money always I go back in the white man pocket. We have to start support each other, start unite, We have to reprogram ourselves through a thought process. You know, we have to make sure say we stop do some of the things that we were do and you know the meditation have to change. We can't afford for only take medication where white man make. Yeah. We only go by where the white man say. We have to start look to our black leaders. They are all over. And although they divide and rule us, they try to do that all the time. But let us move forward. Sizzler and Jacure telling it as it is. Telling it as it is. We have to look forward to Africa because Africa have 52 countries, meanwhile America have 52 states. The Sahara Desert is bigger than America, seen? So we have to deal with reparation and repatriation. We have to repatriate in our minds first and then we repatriate physically. It no matter where you come from. It no matter where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. Because if a cow have a calf in a pig pen, it don't mean that is not a calf. And if a goat kid was born in a cow pen, it's still a kid. So no matter where we come from all over the world, we are one. We are Africans first. Rasperience is on your radio on Bridge 99 FM. We'll go to a break and forward. See? This is the time when we go to Liberty. Yeah, we speak and discuss herbs and different herbs. You know, Rastafari live it. We don't call it diet. Zin. Today we discuss cannabis or ganja or the herbs. Zin. Well, let me read something for you. Known as king of the forest, cannabis also known as marijuana, weed, kali, as Rastafari call it, ganja. Zin. In our community, we revere ganja as a sacred plant, our sacrament. We use it to meditate or, as we say, annotate. We are of its multifaceted uses. Seeing to I ganja is food, clothes, and shelter. Ganja or cannabis is not just for smoking. Let's discuss some of the medical properties and explain the difference between ganja. Two main components, THC and CBD. So, ganja with the THC means tetrahydrocannabinol, is the euphoric kind of energy that you get when you smoke it. CBD, more cannabinoid, is less THC in it. So it's more medicinal more than anything, you know. Ganja can make 25,000 different products, you know. 25,000 different products. A whole heap of things. If we use weed to make paper, we would get rid of cutting down the trees because we grow the trees them for 15 years and we cut them down and have to grow them back for 15 years. Meanwhile, weed, 3 crop a year, make the best fiber, give you the best paper. Same way. When it comes to rope, We can get the best ropes from weed. We can get even crude oil from weed. We can get food from weed. 25,000 different product, man. Whole heap. All right, in America, 50% of the insecticide that them use is them spray cotton with it. Yeah? Right now, you could have get rid of that if you plant weed for make clothes instead of cotton. Weed is totally different. And we're not talking about smoking, We're not talking about puffing yet. We're not talking about the sacramental thing yet. Weed, the most notable difference between CBD and THC is the lack of psychoactive effect. For the CBD, which does not typically cause the characteristics of marijuana, THC. Zine. When it comes to weed, Queen Ifrica. How could I talk about weed? I don't bring you in. When are the first time you really encounter weed? When are the first time you really smoke?
Say the first time I smoke a spliff and I bingy still.
Yeah.
There's not an age limit in a Rasta house. Back in the day, I don't know if, based on how, as a virgin like yourself, we talk about the paper and how the paper, if you smoke 1 pound of weed, you smoke 2 pound of paper kind of thing. But back in the day, when we was in the Nyabingi house, you could have seen all a 2-year-old youth a bun a spliff, It was a normal thing. We see all a 2-year-old with a spliff. So, I started burning herb, I think, maybe around the age of 11, them age. Yeah, I can say that, say, round sister them in a tabernacle and you don't know herb that they don't know. It's best time to...
Wow.
We started explore early, but the good thing about that is...
Yes.
Why we not, because you don't know, we have to be responsible because we not promote smoking. I never burn tobacco yet. I don't know what it feel like to burn tobacco.
Well, we think they mix up the poison with the medicine.
Right, I never burn tobacco, I never burn cigarette. None of them kind of blunt, none of them something. They're just strictly marijuana.
So you know about the indica and sativa. Say indica make you kind of
high.
In the couch. And sativa make you kind of more
sat
up.
Well, the thing about what we love about herb is that it was made by the Almighty. First of all, no one can deny it's a plant that comes directly from nature.
Yes.
And I just mentioned the 20,000 different things that marijuana. But I, as a user of marijuana, who is, in the departure lounge of smoking, not stop using marijuana, but, trying my best to love smoking. I can proudly and say, as a marijuana smoker, say, when I burn herb is the heights of meditation in terms of clarity, in terms of good energy, in terms of... I want to say to the youth them we burn some weed and I mix up some things in a weed and I do some acid and some crazy things. I know marijuana I cannot do that. And the things them won't mix marijuana with. Because when you burn marijuana in its purity, is a good meditation.
Smoke high and release stress.
And you not even release stress, like you're more forgiving. Marijuana make you forgiving. You see what I say? Marijuana.
Yes.
Marijuana make you looking at your thing and your virgin can war, you can burn a spliff for good herbs and look for your virgin and say, me forgive you, my brother.
So that means that marijuana kind of give you a good energy then.
It gives a good energy, but you have some synthetic weed in the space where some youth now get access to some weed when a real boy and them mix it with some sitting with them call some Mali and some sitting.
Where some
I say, yeah man, so where I say burn up. Make sure so you burn natural, pure marijuana if you're a marijuana user.
Yes.
You see what I say, and also you can drink the tea and have to get up and smoke every day and either. No. You see what I say?
Well, I want to tell you, say, I just say today, where them having on the paper, the protection of brand equity of Jamaican ganja.
Yes.
Them apply for it, and the intellectual property. you know, like how you have Jamaican jerk,
Yes.
you have Jamaican ganja.
Ganja brand, yes,
Yeah.
because
So-
Jamaican ganja brand is the brand.
We need to protect it because Rastafari and reggae music has been out there promoting.
Yeah, I was
brand
disappointed.
equity.
Yeah, I was disappointed to go to California and hear people out there say them have weed were more potent than Jamaican weed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, which weed in the world more potent
Than
than Jamaican marijuana? Jamaican marijuana set the trend for every weed.
Yes.
On the global earth, and we don't care. Jamaica ganja, Bass ganja.
Well, you have the industrial hemp
Yes.
that has 2% of THC in it, and it can make paper, it can make rope, it make textile, it make clothing, it make biodegradable plastics, it make paint, it make insulation, it make biofuel, natural food, and animal feed.
Wow.
So weed is actually natural for us. It is great. We think weed is something that everybody should experience.
Some way.
So
Yeah, for
you don't have
real.
to experience the smoking,
Smoking, no.
but you experience the clothes,
The
the
food.
food of it,
Yeah, you
and
can
something.
eat it, you can drink it, you can use it as perfume, you can use it as a matter of fact for a lot of us in a society that have eye problem. I think it's the CB.
Cancer.
Right, it's very good for your eyesight as well. You know what I mean? So if it's a thing, if herb is a thing, we are dealing with your sight.
Yeah.
Remember sight, you know.
Yeah.
You see what I say? That mean to say the Almighty want you to see through that something, yeah. You see what I say? So
Canasal was what Manly West made.
yes,
And-
Canasal.
Yes. Make we hear a tune. Make we hear a
Yeah.
tune around there.
Smoke all day. Woo! Let music keep on playing. Wow. Sometimes the things you need in life may be difficult. Not all the time it's gonna be easy. That's how it go. Smoke the marijuana and get high. Stay above the wickeds and fly. I'm feeling so very good about myself. Babylon ain't feeling good, damn. That's their problem. I smoke the marijuana and get high. Stay above the wickeds and fly. And when I got problem at home domestically, and my girl she just wanna quarrel with me, I smoke the marijuana and get high. Stay above the wickeds and fly. Love is the order of the day, you better find it. I'm a big man, I put my problems behind me. I smoke the marijuana and get high.
Well, since that's him smoke it and get high,
Yeah, man.
I put all them props behind him.
The thing about marijuana is that there's an individualism about marijuana. Each
work-
person
it
that
work for each
burn,
person
yes,
differently.
each person that experience marijuana
Experience a different
experience it on them personal levels, and then when the reason why it's so broad is like a lot of way. The end game, all of we enjoy the end game, which is the
Yes.
good energy and the munchies, you know.
Well, that was Liberty. That was Liberty. We spoke about marijuana, ganja, cannabis, you know, the therapeutic side of it, the medicinal side of it, yeah, the economic
Yes.
side of it. Because,
Stop drag your foot, Jamaican
yes.
government.
Yeah, you can make a whole heap of money. All right, so we go in at this year time now. Yeah, in at this year time, we'll try and talk about the things that is happening currently. Yeah, a whole heap of things are going from where they.
Why?
A whole heap of things are going on. We see a party them a keep down Westmoreland. Unfortunately, 7 people shot.
Wow.
2 fatally in the party in a Little London, in a Westmoreland. Yeah, the Savlamar police, them say about 8:50 p.m., a group of patrons were at a party in Spring Garden community when several explosions were heard. And the youth were dead. Him had a promoter. And yeah, it come away.
Yeah, you know.
Yes. In a this year time. Yes. Whole heap of things are going on in this year time. As we say, them youth they get shot down at Westmoreland. It seems like the violence seeping into the community.
And it calculated, my lord. Like, I sit down and listen to the eye, I read it, and I said, this thing I feel too calculated. We are going in Jamaica where crime and violence is concerning, and we just say, we have to talk directly to the people involved in these feuds now, say, you know, in this year time.
Yes.
I think it's only fair if we start looking at how we angle our issues and how we angle with disputes and, you know, just really meds how we do to ourselves. Because when we dead off and gone, 100 and add counting, only are going to make it easier for the strangers than we are planned for come live in Jamaica. You understand? Because once we kill off ourselves and the place clear out, then you can have the 2030 vision where everybody can live and have families and raise children. Because the problem deal with itself. But you know what I mean?
May I see something today where the social programs, where the government spend billions.
Anthony Clayton from UA, professor, we met this fine, you say.
They spend billions, say them are try to find solution through social programming. And only for no say is a misappropriation of funds and all of these things.
900 and had billion and it's 300 and I'm like, if you're going to spend 300 and I think 80 something billion dollars on over 10 years on education. And look where we're at in Jamaica, where education is concerned. Just a little COVID come within 3 years. We had a messy education system. You know, one of the reasons why Jamaican people took a chance on Andrew Holness was because of the good job he did when he was in education ministry. But since then, we noticed that education ministry is just a business for some people. And education for where the youths are concerned are left behind, where there is logical factual reports to show that billions are said to be spent on education.
I have youth who can't read right now. Still.
Right now, we have thousands who are missing off the grid because of COVID.
Talking about education, there are some students down in Ukraine.
Yes.
That they are there as a student now, and because of what is happening with Ukraine and America, Russia is having at least 100,000 troops down on the border, like they want to take over Ukraine.
Yes.
And we have some students down there, and them check for come home or check the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to set it straight that them can come home if needs be. Although Putin tell the man from France,
yes,
Macron, say him not going to invade, and him tell America, but America is now sending troops down there.
So they're doing this visible in front of our eyes, and we are just supposed to think otherwise.
And it's two countries that has the more serious nuclear weapons.
So how are people coming home? How are they getting to come home?
Talking about students, we hope that they get a chance to come home just in case.
Yes, foreign ministry, get pan that there, because you can't take anything for granted. These people are there, they are seeing what's happening. So if they want to come home, it's only fair that as a country we assist them, you know.
Christopher Tufton.
Yes. Why am I going so far the other day? Like,
him propose a discrimination against unvaccinated Jamaicans. And saying that he's going to keep some events and only on the vaccinated can get in. Like the unvaccinated is not qualified. Why him using the word discrimination after we got through so much
even this Black History Month right now, as we're sitting down here, we're still going through. I think what is happening with Mr. Tufton is that he made a deal.
Yeah.
And he has to stick to that deal, because if it is that we have a country where because of fear people are reluctant to line up and to be vaccinated, right? you're now going to label those who are afraid, who are now, as we're seeing, is in the majority.
Yes.
And yes, you have people who went and did the vaccination because of the concerns that some of them have, and some of them just licky and will want go foreign too. But let's call that what it is. What are you saying as the health ministry, that you're going to separate Jamaican people and say you're going to keep events that only those who vaccinated that going to go and those who don't will have to sit at a fence and looking? What are you saying to us as a people?
Look, if it's 22% alone are Jamaicans vaccinated, that means 78%.
You're ignoring those voices.
But how can a representational politician say that? That means that you know how you're going to get back into power.
Unless him know that he's going to be in power for, and these people are seeing that they're acting as if they know something about Jamaica that them know what we don't know. So no matter what any one of us say, or no matter whatever concerns we have,
yes,
none of our leaders are going to be standing up to be accountable, because we have to just take whatever them say. And I think Jamaican people, I heard the Prime Minister say it the other day that he's asking Jamaica people to wake up. I think Jamaica people need to roll over and throw off the sheets.
All right, make we listen some of that tune.
Yeah, like I idiot them want to take people for fearmonger. I tell you about your risk and your selfish and yeah, hear me? No sir, sorry. Vaccinated and still go catch COVID. Well, we sorry for them and them doctor business. Vaccinated and still go catch COVID. We sorry for them and hospital business. Fire. Man a corrupted leader, take the money and go sell the country future. Fire. Man a corrupt minister, cause them not care about health, them just a follow order. Fire. Man the corrupt media, we a spread false report to boost the number. Fire. Man a corrupted doctor, well a cough oxygen to the ventilator. Vaccinated and still go catch COVID. Well, we sorry for them and them doctor business. Vaccinated and still go catch COVID. We sorry for them and hospital business. Well, we did a warn you. When you was so we crazy, I say we not have facts and be a conspiracy. You never did want here. Hospital lock and make money. Say this one no vaccine, it is a cheap therapy. Well, we did a warn them. Say you not that it did for it. Now have none to do the health of the new world order. They never did want here. Don't go take it in your shoulder. And none of tell you say you need a booster vaccine. Vaccinated and still go catch COVID. Well, sorry for them and them doctor business. Vaccinated and still go catch COVID. Well, sorry for them and hospital business. We never did want this. To get the youth them sick, enough healthy youth I catch myocarditis. We never did want this. Cause it's a big business. I want make things cheaper and it more effective. Them never did want that. That's why you take Pfizer shot.
Yes. Right now, early protection, early dealing with COVID is a better way. It proves that vaccination is not the answer. We're not against vaccination.
No.
But people, them say if you get 70% or 80% is herd immunity. But enough country get herd immunity.
Yes.
Israel get herd immunity. Iceland get herd immunity. And them still suffer.
And the conversation
COVID
has broadened. I don't like the plantation approach that is happening in Jamaica, where it's like they're dealing with Jamaican people like we're subjects.
Yes.
And we should just go with what they consider to be true information. And I want to say in this moment, thanks again for having me here, Mr. Tony Rebel, interviewing on your program. And big up to Bridge 99 FM for being a true democratic space, because we need that in Jamaica.
Definitely.
Where we can have true democracy. Jamaica is a democratic country, and we need to see democracy being practiced. So big up yourself to the goddamn world. Bridge 99 FM, you know what I say? Yeah.
Hey, all right, hold on. A student gets stabbed down in St. Elizabeth at school, right? The picture of a pen lodged in his forehead.
Oh my God.
Scene. It's terrible. It's like the violence transfer from just everybody now going into the schoolroom.
It's anger. It's too much anger.
Yes, and we have to find a way for quell that.
And all of us together, all stakeholders, again, big up to this radio station, new in the space, doing the right thing in the space. All of us, artists, producers, radio announcers,
yes.
fast food chains, everybody, politicians, area leaders, church communities, all of us have to come together on behalf of this great change that we want to see for us as Jamaican people and especially our young people.
Well,
it
it has to be a concerted effort. I noticed that them say the people them who are talk nowadays about where the gun them there is like them talking more.
Yes.
And we have to do that. We have to make a concerted effort. Every one of us
as Jamaican
in this space, if we want to get the country back on track, we have to do that.
Come on board, diaspora Jamaican.
Yes. So I want I'm gonna do Rasperience shirt. But anyway, we're gonna seal up now. We're seal up with a Queen Ifrica. Blood I bleed out. See you again. It was good to be in the day.